This is everything, basically everything that shouldn't be put into an Italian carbonara, but I'm doing it because it's delicious and it's kind of fun. So, to begin with, I have linguine, which is not typically found in carbonara dishes. But this is what I have. It's either this or rigatoni, but I thought linguine would be interesting. And I have a new hunk of Parmesan. So instead of pecorino, I'm using Parmesan. I mean, that's sort of a minor problem here. I have about, this is like 30 to 35 grams-ish of pancetta. That's also standard. 1 egg. And then everything else is just sacrilegious. I got 2 cloves of garlic, which should never go into a traditional carbonara. I have a bunch of parsley, which again, just, you know. But I've seen Gino da Campo put parsley in his carbonara, and he's Italian, so I guess, you know. And then heavy whipping cream and 4 mushrooms. All right, there are a few things I need to cut up. I like to just very coarsely chop it. And then just run my knife through everything like maybe once more. Just gonna get these set aside. Then I got some mushrooms. And here I'm actually gonna slice them pretty thin. Alright, so I want thin slices of mushrooms so that they cook quickly. The garlic and the pancetta are gonna go in the pan first. So my pancetta I'll cut up. Set that aside. I'm actually gonna slice them thin instead of, you know, mincing my garlic. I'm going to get my pancetta and my garlic in the pan at the same time. Now all the chopping is done. One last thing before I can, you know, just head over to the stove is I'm gonna make my sauce. Traditionally, it's just, you know, eggs or a mixture of whole eggs and egg yolks and cheese, a lot of pepper, maybe a touch of pasta water. But here, I am not doing that. I have an egg cracked in here, and then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of heavy cream. This is going to make my life a little bit easier because, you know, it prevents the eggs from scrambling when I add the mixture in. Parmesan cheese. I don't need much here because there's the cream. So I don't need as much Parmesan. This is really an eyeballing thing or preference thing or a whatever thing because it doesn't really matter that much how much Parmesan you put in here. You can always add more later. And I'm gonna mix it all together. All right. So prep is done. Now I'm gonna make my fake carbonara. Pot of boiling water. This is already salted. Pasta's gonna go in. This pasta takes about 11 minutes to cook. And I wanna cook it al dente and then shove it over here. Meanwhile, here I have my cut up pancetta and garlic. I'm gonna turn the heat on to medium. And I'm gonna put 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. Well, you know what, actually, change of plans. This is going a little bit too slow. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit because I still have to cook my mushrooms, you know, and get everything all ready and incorporated. So I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit to give it a head start. All right, so another couple of minutes later, I've cleaned my knife. I can hear the sizzle. So things are happening over here. That's nice. So I constantly stir my pancetta and my garlic. Once again, no burnt garlic flavor, no bitterness. I don't want any of that. And I can see the pancetta is rendering out its fat. The white part has become translucent more or less. The garlic still hasn't changed the color. That's ideal. I'm going to turn the heat back down low. Keep stirring. Now for the pasta, you just want to make sure you stir it like, you know, every now and then in the first minute or a couple minutes if you're, you know, not sure about it. Otherwise, it's not gonna stick. It's gonna be fine. So I have quite a lot of fat here, which is all right, because what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna dump in my mushrooms, and the mushrooms are gonna absorb a lot of the moisture. That's, well, not the moisture, but a lot of the fat. It smells good. Now the garlic is starting to pick up the slightest amount of color, and that is a signal for me to get a couple tablespoons of pasta water involved. All right. This is going to essentially halt the browning, and everything's going to start to boil. So I want this to simmer down. I'm going to pick up some of the sticky bits that's on the bottom of the pan. There's not a lot because this is a non-stick pan. There's going to be a little bit of that, which is nice. Now I'm going to taste the pasta, see how much is done. Just shy of al dente. So I'm just going to pull the pasta over to here. I realize I've under-seasoned my pasta water a little bit. So now I'm just going to give this a little seasoning. I'm going to turn the heat off. This is all pretty similar to the real carbonara situation. You want to make sure your pan is somewhat cooled down. Just a touch of water. Alright, make sure there's not much sizzling going on. Might need a little bit more to completely cool it down almost. Alright, this is looking pretty good. Heat is off. Now my carbonara egg mixture goes in with the heavy cream and all that good jazz. You still want to kind of work quickly here because there's still a chance of scrambling the eggs. Don't want any of that to happen. And then you just mix everything up. This is extra creamy. See what I'm saying? Whew! Does not look nice. Alright. I like the consistency of the sauce. So I'm gonna completely take it off the heat, get my parsley in, and I'm gonna call this done. In true sacrilegious fashion, here I am with my chopsticks. Honestly, this tastes nothing like the Roman way of making carbonara. This is not a carbonara in the sense that it doesn't taste anything like it. This is creamy. It has like a slight hint of sweetness from the dairy products. Yeah, it's a very toned down pasta dish. This is good, and it's pretty easy to make. And if you're going this route already, you might as well customize it however you like it. You know, put peas in it. I won't put onions in it. I just feel like it would taste weird, and the texture would be weird as well. But hey, go at it. You can put a chili in. That's what Gordon Ramsay did in his video, in his 10-minute cook-along, whatever lockdown thing last year. What else can you put in it? You could put spinach, and you can just use bacon. You know, I feel like this application, it would make sense to use bacon because nothing's crispy, and the sort of the character of pancetta or guanciale even just gets buried under all the other ingredients here, so it wouldn't make a huge difference. But yeah, you can make those substitutions, and that'll basically be a whole meal, and it's good. So yeah, if any Italians are watching this video, please don't cancel me. I've talked for this long just so that I won't get canceled. I know literally no one is subscribed to my channel, but still.
you know, it's YouTube. Anyone can see this. You know, this is one way to make a carbonara-ish. Okay, anyways, I'm out.